What gave this listed developer the conviction to place a $1 billion bet on Auckland's economy?
We're truly passionate about Auckland. We think this is a fantastic city. On any given week, we're around about 250,000 people through our centre, walking through our centre. That's up about 20% on this time last year. We find ourselves in an environment now where consumer confidence is slightly down.
Over a decade and over $1 billion later, listed developer Precinct Properties can finally call its Commercial Bay project overseeing Auckland complete. This rooftop bar is the finishing touch on a complex that comprises 5 office towers, a 5-star hotel, 120 shops and eateries, and 10,000 workers. It paid for it through a mix of capital raisings and selling non-core assets. Precinct's plan is to maximise the mixed-use model. It claims convenience is key to getting a return on its investments. This new 34-floor office tower and retail and hospitality offering opened first in 2020, as the economy was in a pandemic-caused recession and rent relief was required. Now the company is keen to clip the ticket as the owner and manager of this asset defining downtown Auckland. It won't say how much it's charging for rent, but will take a portion of the turnover. This bar cost around $4 million to furbish and expects to make hundreds of thousands of dollars a week. The operators of Queen's Rooftop have signed a 15-year lease, with plans to be open from 11 a.m. to 3 a.m. 7 days a week. Do you think Aucklanders have that level of stamina?
I think so. I think enough people at different times of the day, absolutely.
But their wallets may not, in a high interest rate, high cost of living environment. Thankfully, tourists are coming to the party. Precinct's General Manager of Property, Anthony Randall, says they make up 30% of current spend, but there's still upside to come. Well, thank you so much for your time and for having us up here in your stunning venue on what is a beautiful Auckland day too.
Isn't it just? Isn't it just?
Before you got to this point though, before you were welcoming people in for drinks and dinner, this was just a vision on paper. Take me right back to 2012 when Precinct acquired this site and what the vision was way back then.
Yeah, look, it's been a pretty amazing journey for our team at Precinct. As you said, we acquired the site in 2012. We acquired this building we're in now, 1 Queen Street, in 2013. And then we did sort of 2 or 3 years of design work and really tried to realise our vision on what we wanted to do and create, a world-class precinct for Auckland. And then we demolished the existing downtown centre in 2016. Everyone in Auckland can probably remember that. And then over the next sort of course of 4 to 5 years, we completed the retail centre and PwC Tower. So we finished that in sort of mid-2020. Right in time for the pandemic, which was certainly very interesting for everyone involved. And then we embarked on the last step of Commercial Bay, which was the development we're sitting in today, 1 Queen Street, which we've just finished earlier this year.
Why did Precinct, as a listed developer, decide to take a punt on Auckland?
Yeah, look, we're truly passionate about Auckland. We think this is a fantastic city. Certainly, getting a site of this scale in Commercial Bay in a city centre context is really quite unique in any world context. And we've had really good demand in terms of our occupier markets. The city really needed a really good, precinct for retail, for food and beverage, for people to come and enjoy. And we think we've really delivered on that. Somewhere where, Aucklanders, New Zealanders, and people visiting New Zealand can be really proud of and, like I said, enjoy.
Mixed use seems to be the main strategy for Precinct. Why is that the strategy?
Yeah, look, we were an office owner and manager. We've decided to become more of a city centre specialist, so anything within the city we want to be a part of. Obviously within this development we've got office buildings that house around about 10,000 office workers. We have a retail centre of just over 100 retail tenancies, and we've just opened Intercontinental, a real true luxury 5-star hotel, which we think's just truly remarkable. And When you think about all of the office workers in Auckland, when you start to mix in that amenity, it really becomes an area where people can come and enjoy and thrive.
So total spend on this whole downtown precinct, $1.1 billion?
That's right, yeah, $1.1 billion, yeah. So that's for 1 Queen Street, the retail centre, and also the new PwC Tower.
How does that compare to the initial budget? Did it blow out?
Oh look, it's roughly there or thereabouts. What I can say is, these assets now are valued at around about $1.3 billion. So, that's an implied marginal profit, if you like, on the development. And like I said, what we've created here is something that everyone can be really proud of.
But Precinct is not going to sell this place. You claim to be a long-term owner of the assets that you develop. So you plan on clipping the ticket on this place for how many years yet?
Yeah, look, we're an absolutely long-term owner, and that's part of our philosophy. We look to build really long-term relationships with, whether that be our contractors, whether that be our clients or our tenants, our retailers, our operators. We really take a long-term view. We're here for the long term, absolutely.
What kind of return on this investment are you expecting, and when could it perhaps break even on that 1.1 bill spend?
Yeah, look, from a profit point of view, it certainly has broken even. We've made a profit out of the development. You have to look at it in different components. We've got the retail centre, which we opened in the midst of a pandemic. We find ourselves in an environment now where consumer confidence is slightly down, and discretionary spend is having an impact on people coming through our centre and spending money. So we look at the retail centre. We've obviously just opened the hotel. That's at its very early stages, and then we've got a large office occupier pool where we still see really good demand. So you sort of got to look at those three components in isolation. They all work quite slightly differently, but we're really positive for the way it's trending. Yeah,
the economy is sluggish, to say the least. I think we all feel that. Why does Precinct still have high conviction on people coming to spend at places like this to allow you to make that profit?
Yeah, I think if you think about the office market, we've been through a period where business owners really want their people to be in and around really good amenity and really good office space to bring their people and bring their culture back into the business. We've gone through a period where we're forced to work from home, where we had flexible working, and now business owners really want their people back in the office. We're seeing our footfall through the centre start to increase. So on any given week, we're around about 250,000 people through our centre, walking through our centre. That's up about 20% on this time last year. And we continue to see that increase as people come back into the city. Where retail spend, there's no doubt the environment that we're in has an impact on discretionary spend. There's absolutely no doubt.
You've felt that? You've seen that?
Absolutely.
What are the figures on that?
Yeah, absolutely. Like fashion spend is slightly down, and if you think about our centre, our spend is around about half from tourism, and it was always intended to be that. So we've got about 30% of our spend from international tourists, about 20% from domestic tourism. And what we're really pleased about is that there's still the tourist market to come back again. So, pleasingly this year we've had, around about 250,000 capacity and cruise ships come into Auckland. We've still got, US and Australia are back to almost pre-pandemic levels. And we've also got the Chinese tourism market that's starting to rebuild again, and that is below pre-pandemic levels. And a lot of the retail centre within Commercial Bay is catered towards that market. And the latest figures of that starting to build up as well. So we're really positive about that. But having said that, we are conscious of the environment. We work with all our retailers. Like I said before, we're in this for the long term and we want to partner with them.
So despite domestic spend and the state of our economy domestically currently, you're telling me that this place still hasn't reached its full upside potential because tourism still isn't back to 100% yet?
That's exactly right, yeah. I mean, this retail centre hasn't had a chance at a full runway yet, and we're really looking forward to seeing how that goes when we work our way out of this environment.
Talk me through how Precinct picks its vendors for this precinct, because I'm sure that you want them to not only fulfil their long-term leases, but also provide a certain level of quality that you're aiming for.
Yeah, absolutely, and it is a really important part of our management as a business. If you think about Commercial Bay, roughly a third of it is food and beverage, which is actually quite a high percentage. We want to make sure that all our vendors complement each other and not compete directly against each other. And so if you think about, Queens, which you've just walked through today, rooftop bar, quite a different experience to, having a beverage at the ground floor. We've got our food hall, which has an offer that's sort of around about sort of sub $20. We have quick service restaurants in One Queen, this building as well, which are more like sub $50. And then we have some of Auckland's best restaurants, which you can go enjoy an afternoon at. So it's really important to get that composition right and make sure that they're not competing against each other, and they absolutely are complementing each other.
So variety is important, especially in this economic environment where people want different price points.
Absolutely, and that's catering to everyone and making sure that everyone has a choice and an experience that they want to get. And that's what we're seeing. People want experience. They want to come and enjoy some amazing views like this, which are truly world class.
Given the view, what's the premium that you're charging on rent at places like this?
Yeah, look, for an offer like this is very typical in food and beverage that we have a traditional lease. So the five fellas own the bar and the restaurant, and then we have a turnover element. And so we feel like we're getting an appropriate amount of rent, but we'll work very closely with them to make sure that they go well, and we're sure they will. They're very good operators. That's the reason why we selected them. And as I mentioned, we partner with all our operators to ensure that we get the most out of not just this venue, but the wider precinct.
So the way it looks on paper is you agree to clip a certain amount of their annual weekly turnover?
Yeah, like some form of turnover provision. Yep, that's right.
Can you give me a ballpark figure? Is it single, double digits?
Normally single digits. Yep.
Adjusted for inflation?
Oh, well, the sales will adjust with inflation, so it'll just be based on sales figures. Yep.
How does it feel to have the final touches on the roof of this place and have it fully operational?
Oh, it feels amazing, and there's been so many people that have contributed to the success of this project. It's a big project, like you said, just over $1 billion. We're really passionate about Auckland. We feel we have a part to play in making this city, one of the best cities in the world. This is a step in the right direction, and we're just so excited that it's finished. And you've obviously had a walk around this rooftop bar, and you really think you're in a really amazing place when you come up here, and it is certainly the last piece of the puzzle for Commercial Bay to complete.
One thing that is slightly overshadowing Auckland at the moment is crime. How are you as a developer in the central city feeling about that and dealing with it?
Yeah, look, it is absolutely there. We have city centre crime and antisocial behaviour at a level we're not comfortable with. What we are really focused on is making sure our presence with, for example, our security. At any one point in time, we have roughly 6 security guards on around our block. But most importantly, it's around about communicating with, the wider city. So partnering with the likes of the city, partnering with really other large neighbours, making sure our communication channels are really effective, and making sure we can bring this place back to being a really safe and enjoyable place where people want to be.
Is it at a point where it's weighing on your conviction in the city?
Yeah, look, it's certainly something that we're focused on, as I said. We are trying everything we can do to make it better. We are working with our neighbours, with the city. Absolutely in an ideal world, there wouldn't be any crime or any social behaviour. But, we're doing our absolute best to combat it.
Thank you so much for having us here. Really appreciate it.
No, thank you. Really enjoyed our time.
Thanks for watching Markets with Madison, the New Zealand Herald show for interested investors. If you want to stay up to date with financial markets, click the subscribe button below, and you can watch our other episodes here. Stay up to date with all the business news and numbers as they land on nzherald.co.nz.